I want to introduce the control panel or more filters so I can have deeper analysis. I can see that on a project level, but what if I want to do the analysis on a concrete level or finishes or a zone level? We have our activity codes, but we need to present it in a way that will help us in our analysis. So what I can do is I'm going to add a slicer, which is a filter. Slicer is a filter. Here is a rule in Power BI. The visualizations are not the same. So every visualization has its own attributes and values and the column. It depends on the visualization in place. Every visualization has its own nature. The filter also changes based on your input. If my input is a text, my possibilities will be different compared to a data input, a date input. If I grab the data date here, I can see by default like a slider. So I can, maybe I don't want to select a specific data date, but I wanna have a range. It works well if you have a chart where you see the progress on a timeline. So maybe here in the progress curve, it will make sense. I can adjust the range. It's the same information, but zoomed in. The same filter. I can change the layout in the same filter. So I can go to the format, slicer settings, but I do not want the style between. It's between by default, but I want to change it to drop down, which we have done before. So I can do the drop down. Is it always like that? Is it always drop down or between? No. Relative date? No. These options are shown because my input is date. If my input is text, the options will be different. Okay. Another tip also in the data date slicer. Let me choose that, for example, because it's formatted. When I open the menu, I can go to any data date with a click of a button. By default, if I click Control Select, I can choose multiple data dates, but it's not a good practice. I cannot choose a variance of 3 weeks. It just doesn't make any sense. So you have the option, but don't do it. Some people make, like it's not a mistake, but it is not effective. If you go to the slicer settings, selection, and choose single select, because that's the case, it is not multi-select with control, I'm gonna choose single select. So it doesn't allow me to multi-select. The problem is every time you select, the menu will be closed. So now I'm choosing that, so I have to reopen it again. So my personal opinion is disable that. It shows multi-select, but don't multi-select with pressing the control. This way you can always navigate effectively. That's another tip. I'm gonna grab a slicer right now. And have filters for the 4 levels of analysis, the 4 levels of activity codes in my model. I can filter by activity code ID, but it will not be visible. I need the description, the full description itself. So I'm gonna drag that. I can select or multi-select, but I'm gonna choose slicer settings, go to style, and make it title. So I wanna see the values in front of me. This way I can navigate easily, see what is possible in front of me and select it, and it will be visible the whole time. Then go to the values. These are the values. Change color. I don't want to show the blank. I know I'm not gonna use it, right? There are activities that do not have these, like for example, engineering or preliminaries or whatever it might be. Some activities that will not be a part of my construction analysis, and it's not professional really to show the blank. I can go to filters, select the visualization first, go to filters. These are all the filters. Okay, I'm gonna come back to filters later on. Okay. So I can go here. There are two options. You can select all, then unselect the blank, which, one way if you want to do it quickly, or you can navigate from basic filtering to advanced filtering. And from the drop down, you can choose is not blank. So anything that is not blank. I feel that is more standard and flexible compared to the previous method. Why? Because if I choose the basic filtering, I selected all, but I unselected blank. But what if you want to add more values later? So maybe by default, it will be added because it's not selected. So maybe it will be unselected or you will miss some selections. I feel like there is a little bit friction, but when you use the advanced filtering, you make it clear to Power BI. Anything that is blank will not be visible. So I feel it works better in that case. Let's do the level 2. I can create a slicer, or because I have done some formatting, I can make Control C, Control V, but replace the L1 with L2. Okay, that's the activity code. I'm gonna choose the floor L2 display. I can also, change the blank as well. I'm gonna grab a slicer and choose L3. Again, I'm gonna do it title. I don't have to format it all over again because I have done something similar prior to that. So I can select this visualization like Excel, go to Format Painter and format everything the same way. Level L4. Because I have two columns right now. I'm going to remove L3 and level 4 will be. Okay. The visualization is responsive for me. So it depends on the size. I can show or remove some data based on the title, like the character length and the amount of option, like it will be auto scaled for me. And I want to maybe filter by ground floor and the volumes. So everything else that's all activities under ground floor. So it's the same activities, but for this area in the project. I can also navigate to ground floor. Okay, so it's the same list of activities, but for ground floor only. I can go to concrete. These are the activities for concrete. But the aluminum doors, accessories, they are not concrete, related to concrete. It's not really effective to scroll down all the way through to select concrete related work. I want to make it responsive for me. When I select concrete, I want to see the values related to concrete only. If I go to my model, that's the cross-filter direction, which I saved later on to explain. There is no relationship between level 1 and level 2, right? But both share one connection with the baseline. So the baseline has a connection with both L1 and L2. I don't want to change any data. I only want to change the filter direction. If I double click on that relationship, minute 1 has something to do with the data, right? Cross filter direction is only like the filter direction. So I'm gonna do it both. The data will flow both ways. It's like a runway. The data flows in both ways. But before, the data flows only one way. Flows in the filter sense, not in the data analysis sense. So it's only the filter part. And when I do that, it means that when I'm making a selection right now, and maybe I'm gonna do that as well. So I'm gonna do the cross-filter direction both for all tables. So that's the only exception. That's the only thing I'm gonna do, like in my model. So in all other relationships will be one-to-many and has a single cross-filter direction. That's the only exception where I'm gonna use cross-filter direction both. But if it will not affect the data, as I mentioned, why don't I make all both and be on the safe side? Because it's not really going to affect the data. It's not going to affect the data processing, but it will affect the data visibility. If I go to if you make everything here both, for example, if you go to the report and maybe you want to filter floor 12, the data processing will not, but it will maybe hide some data. Uh, and if you do maybe filter data date, maybe because of the filter, the cross filter direction that you apply, maybe some data will be extracted, will not be visible, although it's a process. So I'm gonna explain. It will be very clear in a moment. So I did everything both right now. When I go back, when I click on the ground floor and the volumes, can you see what's happening? I can only show the corresponding values based on my selection. Ground floor, concrete, I can see only the concrete related activities. The data processing is not affected, but what happened is when I make any filter here, the data will flow there, and because it's two ways right now, the filtered data will pass through to this table as well, and so on. So all data, because they have now cross-filter direction both, and it happened because I did that, although there are no connections among these tables themselves, but they all share. It's really like you might wonder, why did I connect with the baseline in the first place? Why didn't I connect with something here? Why didn't I add the activity code ID here, for example? And as I mentioned, it's all a part of the data architecture, the way I built my model in that way through primary and the foreign keys. So what happened? Like when I select a complete, other values like apartment doors, for example, decorations, is it deleted? It's not really deleted. It's still a part of the model, but it's not visible anymore. So when I click on the concrete, other values are not visible, but still a part of the model. It's processed everywhere else. It's not only shown based on my filter. That's why I'm very, very careful when I use the cross filter direction both, because when I make any filter, which I will do definitely, I will use many filters and we will use many in the future. Every time I select a filter, maybe there are data that will not be visible, although it's processed in the backend. So that's why that's the only exception. And I did it carefully with these tables only. It's very, very important. So that's the way we can do deeper analysis.